Hi guys, it's me Paula and welcome back to my channel. I'm just looking at my hair, it's going crazier and crazier as the day's gone on, so apologise for that. So today I am doing a makeup challenge, and what I'm going to do is I'm doing a battle of the greats in my perspective. Um, Obviously it's a bit subjective, but I've picked two brands that are known for being sort of bougie, expensive makeup, and they're both about similar price points, and I thought I would do a kind of battle of the greats to see what I thought was better, in my opinion. Obviously, everyone's got their favourites and things like that. So the two makeup brands I'm looking at is Linda Halberg and Pat McGrath. Now, Pat McGrath's obviously super famous, a big power player in the market, and she's obviously very like big at the moment. She's done a lot of new releases in time for Christmas, and she's also done the new Star Wars release, which is re-released some of her old products in Star Wars packages. Now, her price point for her shadows are known for being completely luxe and beautiful and stunning, and they're quite expensive. You're looking from anything from her small introductory palettes from, I think they're about £22 a palette. You can get them now, up to about the mothership palettes, up to well over £100 for them. The one I'm looking at today, I'm going to look at a lipstick from both brands, and I'm going to look at a palette. So Linda Halberg, again, similar price point for the smaller palettes. I don't think, I think actually her bigger ones are not quite as expensive, Pat McGrath's ones. And I think there are a bit more variation in the lower price point. I think she does quite a lot around £36 mark as well, but both fairly expensive. So the ones I'm looking at here, I'm going to look at Dark Star, which is, look at that luxe packaging. I just love the way it comes off like this. Now this retails at £50, and you open it up. I just think the colours are amazing. So you've got like a lovely couple of gold shades. You've got, I'll pull off this so I can tell you the shades. So six, you only get six in this set. I mean, some of her other ones that for about the same price are, you only get four in the set. So actually six is not bad for Pat McGrath there. And then we've got at the top, we've got Entice, which is kind of a sort of blue shade. I'll see if I can swipe it. Then we've got Deep Space, which is more of a kind of browny mauve colour. It's coming off there. And then we've got a dark one, which is Enrapture, which is more of a blackish colour. And we've got a kind of gold one there, Dark Matter. I don't know why that's called Dark Matter. It's the gold, more goldy one. And then we've got Metropolis. And then we've got, I'm trying to read upside down, Interstellar, which is a nice sort of bronzy, shimmery sort of one there. Okay, the only problem with doing a try on is I'm going to be limited with colours for kind of like, for my my base, for my base sort of shadow. So it's going to probably more darker than I would normally go, but we'll see how it goes, because I'm only going to use these shadows. Now the second, and for my Pat McGrath lipstick, I'm going to go with this one, and it's Flesh Vital, and it's in their Blitz Trance range. Now this is like a tiny one. I got this for £16, but the normal Blitz Trance range, you're looking at about £31 for a lipstick. But that's kind of a more of a pinky mauve colour there, and that's a really cute little lipstick. All Pat McGrath's lipsticks come in these really cute little packaging there. The next thing, like I say, I'll try for Linda Halberg. Now Linda Halberg, again, this is her Enchanted Mysteries palette, which I absolutely fell in love with, and it is retails at £50, and also the same price point as the Dark Star one. And you open it up, and this is just, I just think this is gorgeous. Look at the detailing on that. Just gorgeous. We've got a lovely green, a white, so it's going to be a bit more easy to do sort of base colour there, a kind of goldy colour for Ara, and then a void, which is a dark sort of grey black sort of colour. Now that, I just think that was gorgeous. So only four shadows there, but I just think those shadows are, just the detailing on that is just phenomenal. And I'm going to try on the Fantastic. Now these retail about £18, but I think you can get them on Look Fantastic Beauty Bay at the moment for about £14.40. This is in the shade Amethyme, and this is more of a kind of a glossy sort of brown shade. Now, the only reason I've got this one is actually when I bought the palette, when I bought this palette, there was a deal on where you could get this plus a lipstick. So I didn't pick this colour, I just got given it. And a little brush from Linda Halberg, all for the price, which is quite good. So, okay, I'm going to start off, I think I might do a Pat McGrath look first of all. So I'm going to have to kind of wing it a little bit with the shade choices because, like I say, I've only got, I don't really have very many neutrals there just for a basic colour. I'm going to take this thing off actually. So what I'm going to do is I'll sort of talk to you while I'm doing it. I think I'm going to go and start with just this maybe... This is going to go way darker than I normally have it. I'm going to try a bit of the gold actually and see if I can just do a sort of basic... Ooh, it goes on really shimmery. I'm going to try and do it quite light because I don't want it to be sort of crazy. Yeah, so today's been pretty busy. I've had, obviously the kids have been off school today. And they're on their school holidays, so it's just been a day of basically running around trying to entertain them, trying to do a bit of housework. That goes on really, really deep. I think actually what some of the other shadows, I think I might actually try and apply them with my finger just to get the oops, to get the duochrome effect on some of them, I think. Yeah, I wonder, is everybody else ready for Christmas? I'm actually hosting for the second time. Normally we used to go to my mum and dad's in the morning and then my husband's mum and dad's in the afternoon because we kind of live fairly close to each other. Two different villages, but close. I'm just going to blend that out a bit. But last year we had my husband's mum, dad and brother. So this year we have just got, I've got my side of the family. So I've got my mum and dad, my sisters and their husbands, and my sister's little baby, and plus my 3 kids and my husband. So it's going to be pretty full on. I hope I don't duff up the turkey. Right, okay, so that's, yes, that's a bit, kind of a bit of gold shimmer. You can actually see the shimmer a bit more there. Now I'm going to, for the middle shade, I think I might try, trying to think of what I'm going to go with this. I think I might try a little bit of the brown, I think, actually. Quite a deep brown. Yeah. The blendability is good in this, actually. It's quite, it goes on well. I think with Pat McGrath, what did you think of her? Oh my God, look at that. You can see it's really dark in the... I have to blend this out. What did you think of her new releases? I was watching some people review it. Actually, when I first saw it, and I have to say when it first got launched, I have to have that. I have to buy. There was one palette in particular, the one with the red Star Trooper guy, that I just thought I need to get that. That is just amazing. But then actually I do agree with what people have said that a lot of it, the packaging is not, it is just a re-release of an old shadow of hers. That it's not like a brand, these are no new shadows in the Star Wars range. It's all basically re-releases but with Star Wars packaging. And I agree with what a couple of YouTubers said, that she could have gone so much to town on the packaging. She could have done something so amazing and different, but really, in a way, all she did was, it looked like she just sort of copied an image, like of, C-3PO. Is that C-3? No, which one's that? I always get them muddled up. My husband would be annoyed about that. The gold one, that's C-3PO, or is that R2-D2? No, C-3PO, of course. Yeah, they just had an image of C-3PO and just stuck it on the packaging, and the gold one was just literally gold with Star Wars written on it. So I think there could have been so much. Could have done like a metallic thing. I think the lipsticks might have been were a little bit more inspirational. I thought the colors themselves and the palettes were really nice, but she hasn't really done anything different really to them. I really need to give my brushes a good clean at some point. All I'm doing is using this color swatch thing, which is really good, but it does sort of kind of prevent you from, not prevent you, but sort of kind of don't wash your brushes as much when you really should. Okay, so I wouldn't mind trying to do some kind of little cut crease thing there. That blended really nicely. It's a bit powderier than I would have thought on the palette. I thought it would be with Pat McGrath a little bit less, but I'm going to see what colour I've got. So I've kind of got the brownie colour. So I've got I've put on the Entice, and then I put the Deep Space. No, the Entice and then the Metropolis. Now I'm wondering what I should do. I want to do something a bit different, like a little bit different. I might try the Interstellar, just see how that works. This could look absolutely appalling, so I apologise if it does. So I'm going to try and do a bit of a sort of cut creasey sort of thing here. I'm trying to learn how to do a cut crease. I've watched a lot of YouTubers do this, and it looks absolutely stunning when they do it. That's kind of nice. I quite like that colour. I'm going to pause it because this video is going to be super, super long if I'm going to be comparing both of them. So I'm going to pause it while I finish up, and then I will come back to you. Okay, so that's the effect. Put my mascara and my eyeliner on. I'm going to put this little side light on just to let you see it up close and a bit more light, because I think the problem with this light overhead is kind of the room light, it's kind of not showing it up to its full. So I'll put this little light on, so it's going to get really bright for a minute, so I'm sorry. So that's, you can see the effect there that I've done. I quite like it. It's kind of a bit mystical. It's a bit kind of, ooh, space age. So what I did was, actually, maybe that light's a bit better. And I put the lipstick on. I think it blends like a dream. Some of it's a bit crumbly when you start to put on, but once you, so you can see like a little bit of residue on the palette there. But it does blend like an absolute dream. It's almost like creamy in its consistency. It's really nice. So what I did was I used this one here to start with, like I say, which was Entice. And then I put some of the brown, which is Metropolis, over the lids. And then I tried to do some kind of cut crease thing here with Interstellar, and then I took a little bit of the gold, which is Enraptured, and stuck it there in the middle there. So, I'm quite pleased with that. I like it. I really like it. I don't know if that would have to be a sort of night out kind of look. It's very, very space age, very take me to your leader type eyeshadow, this, isn't it? Yeah, so really, really like that. Okay, so I am going to go and remove this eyeshadow, and then I'm going to try out the Linda Halberg one. Okay, back again. I've taken the eyeshadow off, put a tiny little bit of primer back on, and hopefully got most of the residue off there. Took up quite a bit of eye makeup remover there. Anyway, so I'm going to try and do a very similar kind of format, but using the Enchanted Mysteries palette. So, gorgeous palette. So, I'm going to go in first with Serene. It's actually a little bit easier to make decisions with this one because it's, we don't have as many colours and we have a neutral. It's almost, I feel almost like bad about ruining the palette there because it's just so pretty. So this one here, I'm going to look at the payoff there. I'm going to try a different brush actually. Try this brush, make sure all of the eyeshadows off from last time. I think you need more of a harder brush here. So it's it's white, but with an almost like a duochrome there, because it's almost got like a bit of a purpley glitter effect through. It's a very slight glitter, and I'm so sad because I'm having to ruin the effect of the embossing there, because the embossing's so pretty. So yeah, so quite a few people have mentioned getting some Linda Halberg makeup, and I was really interested in trying it because the payoff here in this colour, I'm having to really dive on it, the white. because it isn't coming off that easy. So I'm going to deepen it up with, I think I'm going to go in with, should I go in with the copper first, or should I go in with, do you know what, the problem is now, because there's no middle sort of shade, the other ones are fairly dark, so I think I'm going to go in with Void on my lids. So let me try that when I clean off my brush. It could be interesting. Ooh. Let's see. So that's gone really dark. I'm gonna have to blend this out quite a bit. Also, I would say there's not a lot of fallout in this, which is quite good. I would say compared to like Natasha, I mean, I've tried Natasha Denona's Sunrise palette as well, and it was quite a big palette, so you got quite a lot of shades for the money, and it was about the same price point as these small shadows. But I know as well, if you get a bigger Natasha Denona, it's way over 100 as well. But the Natasha Denona had quite a lovely, interesting shades as well. But the fallout was, I think the fallout was pretty bad on that one. I'm gonna blend it out here. The thing I would say about these two palettes, actually, I would say that you almost need other colours to go along with it, in my opinion. I don't think, you know, if I was going on holiday, just take this palette or just take the Dark Star. I think it's one of these sort of palettes, these are sort of palettes that you need to have companion palettes alongside it, because, you know, you don't have a lot of middle shades, transition shades. The base shades sometimes maybe aren't quite as effective against the other colours. So I don't know, it's just my personal viewpoint. Maybe some people quite like to have like dark and then dark and then dark, but I think with other palette especially. Right, okay, I'm going to pause it and try and do my transition shade, and so this doesn't go on for too long. Okay, so that's the final look there. What I did was I used all shadows in this one. What I did was I used the as a base shadow, I used the Serene at just around there, and then as my transition shade, I use Void. So I use Void around my lids around there and try to deepen things up a bit. And then I try to do a bit of a cut crease thing with Lacuna, which I love. That shade's gorgeous. My former goth rock chick self would have been like, yay, slap it on, but it was so good. You know, I really liked it. It's a lovely shade of green, really nice. And then I just did a splash of the Ara on the lids as well, just so I could use all of them, and so it was very similar to the Pat McGrath one. Yeah, so, and then I just put on a bit of the lipstick there. Again, very creamy, very smooth going on. Both of these cream lipsticks are very, very smooth to apply, not drying at all. I'm not such a big fan of liquid lip, you see, where it is a bit drying. So, comparisons. I would say the lipsticks are very similar. Obviously, oops, sorry. To cut that bit out. Yeah, this is what happens when you're trying to balance your phone on top of a box. Yeah, I would say the liquid lips are very similar. I probably prefer this shade to the other one, but then again, you know, this is just a bit of a fun, this comparison. Obviously, you could say, well, that one's got 6 shades, this one's got 4 shades, blah blah blah, but I tried to pick two that had similar price points. In terms of what I preferred, I would say the fallout, there's more fallout in the Pat McGrath palette. I would say, yeah, it's a little bit more fallout there. Not so bad when you're putting on the eyes. I would say blendability, I would say both of them are very similar in blendability. Color story wise, I prefer this color story to this one. I initially thought I'd probably prefer that one, but I actually prefer this one. This one, I suppose this one's got a bit more, probably a bit more versatility than this one, having 6 versus 4 shadows. Both, I would say, my personal opinion, you need other shades to go along with these just to sort of, you know, to get more looks out of it. But I would say they're both standout palettes. They're both very luxe formulas. My favourite probably was this one actually, the Linda Halberg Enchanted Mysteries, but that's just for the colour story. Obviously, they're kind of different colour stories. We're not going to get exactly like for like. So, but I would say actually they're very, very, and this is going to sound a bit of a cop out, but I would say they're quite similar. Probably that's why they're the same sort of price point. I would say I probably preferred the colour story here, but possibly preferred the probably I actually like the consistency better. For me, probably Linda Halberg. I probably preferred Linda Halberg to Pat McGrath. But then again, this is only one palette versus one palette, just a bit of fun. I've also got I've got two of her, the two cheaper ones that I've purchased, the Eye Ecstasy Subversive and the Eye Ecstasy Sublime, and they're £22 each. If you want me to do a video trying on these and comparing them with Pat McGrath's bigger palettes, then let me know to see how they weigh up, because obviously if you're wanting a Pat McGrath palette, you know, you're getting 5 shades there. Okay, there's smaller pans, but you're getting 5 shades, and you're getting 5 shades there. And what a great introductory thing. You could have 10 shades, a Pat McGrath 10 shader for less than you'd have like this palette. So if you'd like me to do a review of that, let me know. Yeah, so enjoy doing that. Enjoy playing with the makeup. Tell me what you thought below. Drop down comments. Which one did you prefer? Which colour story did you prefer? Apologies about the application of the makeup. I'm not a makeup artist. Just having a bit of fun with it. But anyway, thanks very much for watching. Please give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and please subscribe if you haven't done already. Thank you. Bye.